flags. 4 medics, that's the neurosurgeon, ward nurse, theatre receiving nurse, and anesthetics, were suspended for their alleged role in the surgery. The registrars held a meeting with officials of the Kenya Medical Pharmacists and Dentists Union yesterday.
On Monday morning, the country's largest referral hospital suffered yet another blow. 4 days after the hospital confirmed that surgeons had performed head surgery on the wrong patient, 700 doctors pursuing their postgraduate studies, usually referred to as registrars, withdrew their services from Kenyatta National Hospital. The doctors protesting the suspension of their colleagues after the mix-up.
And today, over the 700 doctors in training who are actually the backbone of people who work at the emergency and accident theaters, we will from today have resolved that they will no longer continue to work without their supervisors who are also their teachers, and because also then the system does not protect them.
And that wasn't all. The registrars have also withdrawn their services from Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital until the two institutions address the systemic issues blamed in part for the mix-up. Immediately after the incident, the hospital suspended 4 members of staff, namely the neurosurgeon, the ward nurse, the theatre receiving nurse, and the anesthetist. The hospital, however, took no action against the consultant surgeon under whose supervision the procedure should have been carried out, a fact that has raised eyebrows.
Kenyatta National Hospital relies on workers that are actually not theirs. They don't pay them, then they purport to suspend. You can't suspend someone who you never employed in the first place, like the neurosurgery resident that they and even the other staff that they claim to have suspended did not come here courtesy of Kenyatta National Hospital. They came here courtesy of the University of Nairobi. So we want to make it very clear to Kenyatta National Hospital Board that, by the way, they have to reinstate them unconditionally.
Kenyatta National Hospital is a dead hospital. Let's just be honest with each other. The system is not functional.
The withdrawal of services by registrars at the country's largest referral hospital now throws another spanner in the works at a facility that has already seen its CEO suspended following a mix-up. The Surgical Society of Kenya backing the doctors. Dr. Peter Nthumba, the president of the society, appealed for calm while calling for an audit to identify gaps in the system and how to resolve them. As the blame game continues, the crisis continues to deepen. Kenyatta National Hospital serves over 1,000 patients daily, with the registrars doing the bulk of the work. The boycott meaning thousands of patients will miss out on vital services in coming days.
Now, Ugandan High Commissioner in Kenya, Phoebe Otara, has urged Kenya to allow free trade between Kenya and Uganda at the border. Speaking before the official opening of the Uganda-Kenya Trade Exhibition in Eldoret, the commissioner said that traders from Uganda are being mistreated whenever they enter Kenyan territory. She has, however, called for dialogue between the two governments and asked for them to come up with solutions that will protect their people from being harassed. Otara, however, added that the removal of barriers will improve relationships or the relationship between the two countries, which will boost the economy of East Africa. All right, let's get more details about that particular event in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, and we bring in our correspondent there, John Wanyama. We know that this initiative seeks to promote Uganda and Kenya cross-border trade and investment. Tell us a little bit more about this, John.
A very good morning to Wahiga Maura, and indeed we are coming to you live from Surikwa Hotel here in Uasin Gishu County. And indeed, Wahiga, just a few minutes ago, maybe on the background, as you are listening to music here, high voltage music from Uganda in this place, and most people here are really enjoying enjoying the Ugandan music, something that has never been witnessed in Uasin Gishu County. And as you said, Wahiga, indeed here Kenya and Uganda are coming together just to do exhibition of what they are doing, especially in these both countries. And as yesterday we were speaking to the ambassador, High Commissioner to Uganda, said that most Kenyans who are allowed to go to Uganda to do their businesses, but when it comes to Ugandans to come to Kenya, it's a problem. Most of them are not allowed to come to this part of the country. Without wasting time, Wahiga, if I can talk to Ambassador to Uganda, Madam Phoebe, if you can tell us briefly what you are doing here today.
Thank you very much, Citizen TV. I'm happy that you have hosted me live. We are here in the Sirika Hotel in Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County. We are just 2.5 hours from the Uganda border. We are in Kenya. I'm very grateful and delighted that we have got maximum support to carry out this wonderful first and ever an expo between the two countries in trade, investment and tourism. I want to tell you, the people of Kenya have given us the best welcome one could ever give. We've had here 4 days and we have enjoyed, and you can see these are the very powerful musicians, cultural dancers from the Nile beat. They are coming from the source of the Nile. They are from Ginger, and they are all the way from Ginger. They are now here. We are very, very grateful that we have got people from all over Uganda.
Good. Maybe you said that Ugandans have opened their ways, their doors to Kenyans to enter into Uganda, but Kenyans are not allowing. Maybe if you can touch a little bit about it. Yeah,
that's what I said yesterday, and I just keep saying that, well, we have the East African integration process going on very well. We are very happy that the two presidents and all the ministers are campaigning that there should be free movement of goods, free movement of people, free interaction, the common market, and everything. But there was just a small hiccup still at the border, as I said yesterday, that when the Ugandans want to walk in to Kenya, especially the borders have complained to me, they've come to me and said, as ambassador, could you take this up? When they cross over with the people, they are sometimes detained, and when they are detained, then the Ugandan authority from the other side has to move in. So this is just a very small thing yet that we think can be rectified. But according to the policies and the governance, we are all doing the same thing. We are moving the same pace. Thank you.
Maybe my last question to you, Ambassador, be Ambassador Pengine, something that especially Kenya is concerned about is some illegal goods, especially illegal brew from Uganda that is crossing all the way to Kenya. Maybe what are you doing about this?
First of all, in Uganda, we do not allow people to distill things or make those brews that are harmful. There is a policy, there is a system. Nobody just comes up and starts brewing something and giving out to the community. But I have just learned of that in Kenya there is that complaint that there's some liquor that comes from Uganda unlawfully and illegally. But I think it should be passing through Panya routes. I don't think they are passing through the right channel of the border. Then they would be stopped. But if that is happening, just as I said yesterday, it starts with me and you. The person who is buying it and the person who is selling it are all not in the right track. So we are going to carry out an investigation. We have a very strong team, both sides, and we will look at this. And if you have any cases of people who have had that, please report to us and we will do something.
Finally, Kenya-Uganda boundaries. You normally see Uganda saying that your land maybe is gone, even in parts of Kenya. Is this true, especially like Migingo? What are you doing to ensure that you restore this?
My brother, we are trying to remove what they call mupaka. We are removing the boundary. We are talking about East African integration. My president, His Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, when talks about similar tribes living in the same area. Look at the Samias. We don't have a boundary. I'm a Musamia from Kenya. But we are now settled in Uganda. I've grown in Uganda. I have my name from the Ugandan, ancestors who are there. So now, where do I belong? That's why my president keeps on saying that there are even some ministers in our government are Kenyan, Ugandan. So there is nothing like Mupaka. There's nothing like saying this is our land, this land from me, and so on. Okay,
promoting tourism between Uganda and Kenya. Maybe are we going to see you opening an office in Eldoret town?
Yes, I have liked something that I've heard that Eldoret is the main area that is where the Rift Valley starts from. And we are looking at promoting East African tourism sector. We will always have an office here as an embassy, especially on tourism. We want to promote Mount Elgon, want to promote CP Falls in Uganda, want to promote Tororo rock climbing, and therefore we have to get the Rift Valley on board. We have so many nice things. The culture of the Kalenjins is just a very special culture. We have been knowing the Maasai in Kenya, but the Kalenjins are also part of you know, they share, but also in a similar and somehow a different way, in its own way. We have several cultures here. I think we should get an office here with the support of the media and the stakeholders. Okay. We have a very good minister, Balala, who is handling tourism. Okay. We have a good minister here whom I've worked with, Mohammed, in trade. And my main minister, Dr. Juma, ambassador herself, she's there, she's promoting international relations. So we will do something together.
Maybe finally, Ambassador, yes. Yesterday you also alleged that there are so many girls who are coming in Kenya illegally, and maybe they are also arrested and now they are languishing in our prison.
Yes. We have a problem of human trafficking which is world over. It's not only Uganda and Kenya. So many girls are taken from Uganda through the border of Ruakaka, Bukwa, Malaba, Busia, promised to go and get jobs in Oman. And when they reach Malaba, Busia, wherever, they are taken to Limuru. They are kept for some 2 weeks and promised to go to Oman. And when they reach the Nairobi Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, sometimes these people drop them there because they fail to take them through the immigration process. And you will find these girls taken up by the Kenyan authorities. They will be taken to Langata because they are there illegally. And that's what the work of Uganda High Commission is now doing. We are getting these girls from the prisons and take them through the process and resettle them back home. So we ask the Kenyan government to also help us to consider these very young girls. They are young girls at a tender age, 17, 18, 19, you know, and we should see a mechanism that they are not penalized. Not even that fine that they have to pay before they get back home because they're innocent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. Maybe Wahiga, if I can talk to the hosting CEC, Uasin Gishu County. Daktari, what does this mean to you, this exhibition?
Thank you very much, Wanyama. My name is Dr. Emily Kogo, CC for ICT, Trade and Industrialization, Uasin Gishu County. I must say this exhibition is the first. It's wonderful. It's going to transform our relations between Kenya and Uganda, much as it's being done in Uasin Gishu County. I want to say Ambassador, Her Excellency Phoebe Otala, you've done a wonderful thing to choose Uasin Gishu because Uasin Gishu is one of the fastest growing counties, and we are planning through His Excellency our Governor Jackson Mandago. His vision is to make sure that Uasin Gishu County becomes the industrial hub of Kenya. It is the place to be, and we are happy to host this cross-border trade.
Maybe what are some of the products you have brought here for this exhibition, especially from this region?
Uasin Gishu, as I said, is growing. We have products from the agricultural, from agriculture, including fruits and passion fruit. We have manufacturers. We have Rivertex who are exhibiting here. We have other private manufacturers as well, and very many. We have beads. We have small and large scale exhibitors. Thank you very much
for finding time to talk to us. Wahiga, definitely in a nutshell, that is what is really happening here in Uasin Gishu. And as you've heard, the ambassador has really maybe alleged so many serious issues concerning Ugandan people who are coming to Kenya, especially to do their businesses, and also you have heard about human trafficking. And Wahiga, without maybe if you can give me 1 minute, Wahiga, I'm seeing Ababu Namwamba walking in, and I think he's the right person maybe to counter attack for this to counter on this matter, and also to tell us what is really happening. But Wahiga, as you can see, we are also enjoying here music, a very rich culture from Uganda here, and also I know I wish you are here also to enjoy and witness how Ugandan food is cooked here, whatever they are brought here to also to show Kenyans what they are doing. Mheshimiwa, if you can talk to us kindly, 1 minute, we don't have time. Yeah, thank you for finding your time here. Thank you and welcome. The ambassador has alleged several things, that Kenyan, you have not opened your doors for Ugandans to walk into Kenya. Maybe what, as your department, what are you doing to ensure that these maybe small wrangles are dealt with?
Our focus really should be that we should not lose the antelope while chasing after the squirrel. I think our president, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, has made it very clear that his second term, he'll be focusing on a foreign policy that we call Afrocentrism, or rather Afrocentric foreign policy, which is more focused on Africa, or rather you can call it Africa first as a foreign policy. And the president has made it very clear that he's opening the borders of this country to Africa. In fact, right now, we have what you can call the open door policy to Africa. We are inviting African investors to come and invest in Kenya. That's why we have this kind of thing here. We are asking African tourists to visit Kenya in bigger numbers. And for neighbors like Uganda, remember, Uganda has been Kenya's #1 trading partner for a very long time. So Uganda is a very cherished neighbor, not just in terms of geography, but also in terms of the relationship that is historical and also very, very mutually beneficial. So I can assure you that this kind of thing happening here in Eldoret, very historic in its own way, is an illustration of a new beginning for Kenya-Uganda relations. It can only get better.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe lastly, because you came in late a bit and we don't have time, we know that we have lost Tanzania in some way in some businesses. Maybe what are we going to do to ensure that we bring back them on board and many more?
I have no doubt that there is a very, very strong commitment by the leaders in the East African community and across the whole community to ensure that relations are better, to ensure that we do more trade with each other, to ensure that we open our borders more. And I have no doubt that there isn't a summit that was in Kampala a couple of weeks ago ironed out a lot of issues that may have been of concern across this region. And when you see initiatives like the one-stop border post that President Museveni and President Uhuru opened in Busia 2 weeks ago, you can only look forward to better things. So to East Africans, let us be East Africans.
Thank you.
And forget about these artificial borders that were drawn in Germany without our participation, without our involvement.
Thank you, sir.
It can only get better for East Africa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wahiga, thank you very much. That Sababu na Mwamba and Safi you have heard that they are working on to ensure that our borders are really not that strict for any person from Kenya or Uganda to do their businesses. Wahiga, from my side, I take it back to your studio, but as I leave you to enjoy this high voltage music from Uganda. Thank you, Wahiga. Back to you.
High voltage indeed. Thank you.